Hi creatives, I am Dima and you're welcome to another interesting sewing tutorial. This is strictly a sewing tutorial on how to sew a bustier corset dress with a sequin front design. The last tutorial was all about the pattern drafting of this beautiful bustier corset. This one is strictly the sewing, not just the sewing of the bustier corset, but also the sequin design that makes the beauty, that adds to the beauty of this lovely dress. If this sounds like what you've been interested in, then you have to stay till the end. Do not miss or skip any part of this video so that you'll understand everything I did to arrive at the beautiful final result that you can see. All of these patterns were drafted in the last tutorial. Just in case you've not seen it, just check the link in the description and I will have it linked up there. So this is the front pattern, and the one you saw earlier is the back pattern. I just had to go ahead and apply the interfacing and everything necessary before going on to start stitching everything together. So after cutting all of this, the next thing to do is to also cut the tool for the front. You can see the interfacing I used hairstay and wadding. Light wadding is what I used for the bust. After applying your hairstay, apply your wadding, light wadding, and then go ahead and place the tool that has been cut exactly the same way with the crepe fabric. Okay, because what I'm using as the interlining here is the crepe, is a crepe fabric. Yes, so I had to go ahead and stitch this together. After placing it together, just go ahead, stitch it together, then join your style lines. That is all I did. And what the next thing is to notch the bust lines. Okay, after notching, you iron really nicely, open up the allowance and iron it really nicely. You use your bust ham on the bust cups and iron really nicely. So after ironing, this is what we have right here. What I'm trimming off now is the hairstay I just used to stick the style line in place. Okay, I just used it to stick it in place so that I will not have to worry about really, this is a crepe. It doesn't really relax like pure cotton. So I use that hairstay to help the seam allowance relax really nicely. So this is the sequin fabric and I've gone ahead to apply hairstay on it. So the next thing to do is to go ahead and cut this out. So you just have to fold it as I just did, put it on fold, then place the bustier top like this. Okay, the front of the top, you just have to place it on fold and keep this one on fold as well. Arrange it really well, ensure that it is middle to middle, that is center to center. Then you go ahead and cut out. So this is how you're going to cut it out. So this is what we have. The next is to go ahead and put up a drawing, just exactly what you want. Go ahead and draw it, but in this case we already know the bustier corset dress that we are trying to duplicate, and it is this very design that we will be drawing. So that is what I'm trying to duplicate here. Now I'll just make a hole on the sequin like this, and from that hole I'll be cutting this out. This is how I did mine, and cut out all of this. So this is what we have. I had to place it on the bustier front pattern, front top, and really place it really nicely to see how it is. I had to separate this part, yes, because we really need to do this to get exactly what we want. Yes, I had to do this to get exactly what I want. I had to go ahead and use the dressmaking pins to pin it all out, just as you can see me do. So after pinning it all out, I will go ahead and extend some parts of this sequin design. Just watch and you will see what I did. So right here I have extended all of this part that you can see here. You can see all of the places that I added some sequin fabric. Yes, I did, so that stitching it together will be seamless. You won't even notice it because this is sequin and it's going to cover up any form of joining. That is actually how this velvet sequin fabric behaves. So I had to do all of this, make sure that I arrange it neatly to match smoothly. Then I will take it to the sewing machine and stitch everything together. Don't worry, I'll be putting you through the whole process of sewing it, though at some point my camera stopped recording and I didn't know. But then, yes, I have a very good amount of the stitching part in the video. So I know that with that, you're good to go. So I'll go ahead and stitch all of this together just as you are going to see in this video shortly. And I'm going to pinch it in like this, like 1/4 inch in while I stitch. Now watch closely to see what I did here. You can see where I started from. Just feel free to start where you please, but I just felt I was comfortable starting from here. So I had to stitch that side and stitch towards the armhole, and then the whole process of pinching started. Okay, I had to pinching about 1/4 inch. Yeah, that's what I used there. So I had to hold it down as I stitch. It's not really easy to, hold this part with dressmaking pin. If it was easy, I would have taken that route. So I had to just hold it down as I stitch. As I come closer to where I'm holding down, I go ahead and hold it down more. So that was just what I was doing right here till I stitched everything together. So this was what I did. I stitched the side strips first before I stitched down the middle. That was just what I did because that middle had to, be on top of the 4 side strips coming from the sides. So after that, I'm going to stitch the shoulder parts. Just as you can see, that is the yoke, the shoulder yoke part. So this is the lining, and you can see how I fix the boning. I'll also fix boning at an angle on this lining. Yeah, just as I pointed, I'll fix bone at an angle. So the next thing is to stitch the neckline. After stitching the neckline, this is what I have. At this point, I was thinking the 2 side strips were actually so much apart from each other. So the truth is, after making the dress, I had to cut out the lower side strip and cut out an external strip and fixed there. Yes, I had to hand tack it because at that point, the cloth was already complete and I could not do more than just that. But it came out nice. So I'm going to stitch boning on this back lining. The boning is actually on the lining, if you notice, even in the front, I boned the lining. So this is what the back looks like. I just stitched that on the crepe and then placed the lace on it. After that, I'll be stitching this sequin. That's what I used for the back yoke. I will just stitch it down. I'll put the loop there. I was actually in a hurry stitching this clothes because it was also almost the deadline of picking up this cloth and my client needed to travel. We actually made this cloth in a hurry, so I was in a hurry. I apologize for that. That is why I'm actually hurrying and I did not show the details of each part. So but what I did here is just to fix the loops and then close up the yoke where should be closed up and left the lower part open because this lower part will be joining to the lower part, this part of the top. Yes, I'll be joining it like this. The shoulder is also open at this stage because I'll need to join the shoulder to the shoulder of the front. So this is how I placed it, just like this. Stitch it down and then turn it with the lining. It's as simple as that. Just in case you do not understand it, you may still look at most of my tutorials. I handled something like fixing the loop and all of that on the clothes. but I know you will likely know how that process went. So here I stitched the lining. It's just to place the lining like this and stitch it down. Stitch, notch, and top stitch. Then I ironed in place. I also closed up the center back. Yes, and I had to run like 3 lines of stitch on the surface to accommodate the boning for the lacing. So watch closely and you will see those lines for the boning, but don't worry, when we get there you will understand. So I'm going to stitch close this up by the side, lining to lining and fabric to fabric. That is what I did here. You can see here that I opened it, you can see that it's lining to lining and fabric to fabric. And here you can see the boning channels that I made for the back, and I will be putting the bonings in those channels, 2 channels for each side. So that is what I'm doing here. I'll go ahead and fix the boning off camera and then put the eyelets before I proceed to the next part. So here I have fixed all of that and I have put the modesty panel. I had to do this surface. I created this rectangle differently and hand tacked it to the back. Pardon me, as I said, I made this clothes in a hurry and I could not show more than this because I was in a hurry making this dress. So you can see how it turned out. I felt the spacing on these lines coming by the sides were so much. So I eventually finally removed the lower one and shifted it upward. You can see what it looks like finally. Yes, I shifted the strips coming from the sides upward so that it would be closer to the first one, because I felt that was how it is in the picture and I missed that. But this time I used hand to tack everything, but you will not know, trust me. I tacked it so neatly. If I did not tell you this, you will not know that I remove the first strip, that is the lower one, to push it upwards. That was what I did, but I hand tacked it and you cannot tell. You cannot tell if I do not tell you. So those are the things. If you notice something early enough, please correct it. If not, when you finish the dress, you finally come back to that and get it fixed. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Are you going to try it out? So after fixing this, I cut some of those flowers from the lace and worked it on the waistline. I could not show the part that I fixed the skirt to the inbuilt corset. I also apologize for that. I didn't have all the time for all of this, but I believe that you learned a thing or two from this tutorial. If you like this tutorial, give it a thumbs up, comment, share. Just tell me what you think about this tutorial. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for always stopping by to watch my videos. Subscribe, like, comment, and let me know what you think about my videos. Thanks, 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 and I appreciate you all. I will see you all in my next one. Bye.